Welcome back, guys, to another episode of this build. Today I've got something I'm super excited about. That sun is absolutely blinding, but what's going into this car is even more exciting for me because I've been waiting to make this video for at least 6 or 7 months now, and finally I get to put some little goodies in this car. Let's go have a look. Now, as I just said, I've been waiting a long time to make this video, but I got back in May, it was my birthday, and my wife, bless her cotton socks, decided she was going to do something really special for me and get me a steering wheel for my car. This is a steering wheel she got me. OMP Kubic 310 steering wheel. Now, this is the same type of steering wheel that gets used in supercars, things like that. And I'll explain why I've actually gone for such a small wheel when we go to put it in the car. That's been sitting in my office at home for a long time. The thing that took ages to come in was actually our quick release from OMP. Now, I got this, both of these products came through Raceline Racewear, Raceline Motorsport Racewear in Melbourne. They ordered it for me. It went on back order for a number of months. I think I ordered it end of May, start of June, and it came in end of November, start of December. Then Australia Post messed up, sent it to the wrong address. I then went to that address. I found out which address it went to. I went to it, and the guy handed it over to me. It was literally 3 or 4 places down from where I sent it to, and he was going to send it back to Melbourne for them to sort out instead of just taking it down to the right address that was actually written on the package. So that is what we're going to put in the car. The other thing, I have some carbon fiber foot pedals, and I'll explain why we've gone for carbon fiber when we go to put those in. But first, we're going to get the steering wheel in this car, and we're going to explain why I've gone for something so small and why I've gone for the OMP steering wheel. Let's do it. Now, how this all came about is that my birthday was coming up, and I'd put a post up on Instagram asking people which steering wheel between the Sparco P310 and the OMP Kubic do they think would be best. Obviously, the difference between the OMP and the Sparco is they're both pretty much the same size. Sparco has 2 buttons on the steering wheel that you can wire in for different tasks that you need it to. I didn't necessarily need that. I think that it was just too much for me on a steering wheel. I've obviously got my switch panel, which we made a few videos ago, within arm's reach that I can use. So for me, the OMP was the one that was going to suit my needs the best. And I was saving up for it, and my wife, like I said before, bless her cotton socks, jumped on the internet and did some research and found Raceline Motorsport Racewear down in Victoria, and then called up Kaz Milburn, who runs Raceline, and had a big chat. I can't thank Kaz and Wayne Milburn more for the way they treated my wife with so much respect. My wife has no interest in motorsports whatsoever, has no idea what's going on. The only reason she decided to go with the OMP is because it matches the seat that I'm currently sitting in that will be running in this car. And it's actually a steering wheel that I wanted because I wanted to match the seat as well. Mel must have spent a good amount of time, probably 45 minutes I think, on the phone to Kaz, just going through different options. She placed the order for this, but they said, look, if this isn't the one I wanted, get back in contact and we can change it out. They didn't order it in from Italy until they were sure this is the actual steering wheel that I wanted. There is one that's a 320 centimeter one. It's a Super Quadro. It's a little bit bigger. Most times the 310 is used in sim racing, things like that. So my birthday rolls around, and Mel had organised for me to call Kaz and have a chat to Kaz and Wayne, who Wayne also runs XLs down in Victoria. So I spoke to Kaz for a good amount of time, and then I jumped on the phone to Wayne, and Wayne owns Brakes and More down in Victoria, and just had a really great chat about everything. He was very accommodating for any questions I had. So if you were going to run XLs or any motorsport products, jump on the online to Raceline Motorsport Racewear. I'll put the link into the description for their business. They deal in OMP and a few other brands. And get in contact with them if you have any questions about racewear, car preparation, things like that. Especially for XLs, if you're looking at brakes, drive shafts, clutch lines, brake lines, anything like that. But if I get something that's too long, I can't go back towards the steering wheel. I'll have to adjust it, whereas now it's 40 mil from the hub to the steering wheel. If I need to come further towards me, I can put a small spacer in there and bring that further. That being said, the spacing of the quick release to the steering wheel and then to me is perfect. It's wonderful. So we'll get this installed. The first thing we have to do is put our quick release on, then mate it up to our steering wheel, and then we'll talk about our pedal setup and what we're going to be doing there. So let's do it. Alright, so quick release from OMP. This one is what they call the butterfly quick release. There is another version that goes all the way around, but this one is designed for cars with shift paddles behind the steering wheel. 2 parts, very light. It's aircraft grade aluminium. This one here, I don't know how much it weighs, but it's barely anything. This one here is a little bit more hefty, but essentially very easy. This one goes against your steering boss. This one on the back of the steering wheel, and you just push them together. They lock in, and away you go. To pull them apart, you pull the gold thing back, and it comes away from the steering wheel. So to put it in, it comes with some very neat silver screws. Okay, so just obviously you'll have a steering boss for your car. You take the old stock steering wheel off, Put the steering boss on. This matches up to the steering boss. And just my big fingers. Just get that in there for the moment. And get the bottom one in. Like so. Alright, so that's in. Now, the next part is getting our beautiful OMP Kubic steering wheel and matching it up with our the backside of the quick release. Now, I'll link all these items down below in the description, but essentially the only screws you get with the kit between the steering wheel and the quick release are these screws here for the quick release. Countersunk, the black countersunk screws that you get for the steering wheel, you actually buy separately. Usually your steering boss will come with screws for an aftermarket steering wheel. I got this steering boss secondhand. So I didn't have any screws, so I just had to buy new screws. Now these are, I think, were about $10 for a pack of 6. They're perfect. So what we're going to do now is I will just push this on to our quick release, like so, nice and sturdy, and I'll just match up our steering wheel. So, put the bottom one in. So they're not tight, so I just leave them a little bit loose, so when I just screw the other ones in, it centers itself nicely. So we'll get these other ones in. Now, like I said, most of the time these steering wheels of this size are used for either high performance, I guess, GT cars. Obviously, having small cockpits in the car, they need all the space they can get, which is again why I need to use it. But also for esports and all those things, they use the smaller steering wheel. Especially the Sparco P310, they use that for online gaming, and this one also gets used. There's a few videos online of the OMP Kubic being used for online gaming, so I'll just tighten these ones up. Now, I know this is probably not the best way to be screwing it in, but I don't do them up tight and it saves time. Pretty simple. And then I just tighten them up by hand. Didn't mean to bump you there. There's my big elbows. Like so. So that is all nice and neatly in there. And for my shoulders, I've got nice bend in the arms. It's nice distance to the gear stick down here. Nice movement to pull it off. Okay, pull it off, straight off. Some other quick releases, you've got to match up splines. This one, if you look in here, there's two gaps where you can match up with the tips of the steering wheel or the quick release. Pushed in, done. Alright, so to give you some perspective of what I would see, generally this is the kind of view I would have behind the steering wheel. My head's a little bit further back. I can put you on a headband and show you what it's like, but this is just as good. So from here, that's about the look I've got at our gauges. So if I flick the ignition on, you see the gauges light up like so, and that's just flashing the OLED screen there. If we go in, I'll show you what shift lights I've chosen, by the way. So you'll see them light up there like that, which is easy and nice and clear underneath the top of our steering wheel, so I know exactly when to change gears. You'll notice that I've chosen green, blue, purple, red going into the middle, so that's perfect. So that is what our steering wheel setup looks like. It's a great distance. I'll show you what the distance is like between me sitting in the seat and the steering wheel, and you'll see that I'm quite comfortable within this car behind this tiny little wheel. Okay, sitting in the car here, you'll notice that this is about where my seat will be. Obviously I don't have the cage in here yet. Once the cage goes in, I'll be able to put my seat back as far as possible. I intend to get it as far back so it's almost pretty much touching the roll cage, which will give me the most distance. Now, my knees, how they sit right now, is not how they'll actually be when I'm driving them. I've actually got them pushed up against the firewall. When I drive, that's my foot on the brake, that's my foot on the clutch. Steering wheel. So you can see I've got much greater distance underneath the steering wheel than what I would normally have. You can get bigger steering wheels. They've got a 310, 320, a 330, 340, 350 size, 350 mil. Obviously that is the bigger you get, the wider you go, and the height goes up as well. But 310 is perfect for me. I'm comfortable. It's a nice distance. I'm not trying to slide my hand out to get to the gear shifter. I'm just going straight from either one. Yeah, I'm stoked with how that worked out, and this quick release is perfect. So just straight off, gives me all that extra room, and then straight on, away we go. Nice and simple. Let's get on to our new Sparco carbon fiber pedals. Okay, so our pedal setup at the moment is, what would you call it? Pretty tragic. Stock accelerator, brake and clutch. Now I have anywhere from a size, well, shoe size, anywhere from a size 16 to a size 17 foot. Now it may sound crazy, but trust me when I say this, putting a big foot onto a tiny little pedal like that, it actually is quite difficult. You want a bit. I feel like I need a bigger surface area to put my foot on to brake. I don't want it to come straight off this and go to put it on the brake and only get a tiny bit of the corner of the brake or a portion of it and try and brake. Same with the clutch. I don't want to sit there and take it off the footrest and put it up here and go to push and only get a portion of it. What I do want to do is get a really big purchase on that brake. So what I did is I went ahead and got these Sparco carbon pedals. Now, the reason why I went for the Sparco carbon pedals is, one, they're light, two, they're really strong, and 3, they're really cool. So this is about where they'll sit, like that. You can see the big difference compared to the clutch pedal compared to the brake pedal. Massive, massive change in size. What I am also able to do now that I've got these new pedals is because they're actually pre-curved, I don't know if you can see that, they're pre-curved, and they actually match this curve in the brake pedal and clutch pedal. So I am actually able to move them up higher, so when I go to hit the brake, my foot, if my foot is resting on the floor, the ball of my toes or ball of my foot will be sitting higher up on the pedal instead of the ball of my feet being up here, okay, just above this brake pedal. I'm pushing with the arch of my foot, I'm pushing with the ball of my foot further up and higher up on the pedal, which makes life much, much easier. So I've just marked out some holes that I need to drill, and hopefully I can get the nuts in. This one might be a problem, this one here. Same with that one, so I can probably get that one and that one, and put some screws in it, and then we'll be away. And then I'll just pull out, what I'll do for the accelerator pedal is the throttle, I'll pull that out completely, and then I'll drill the holes and get that all situated there. So let's get to drilling. Okay, so I've got our holes drilled that'll fit our screws there. We may have to make just a few adjustments on this one, but we'll stick this first one on and you'll see how it looks. It's quite cool. There we go. Right, so I'm not going to put the 4th one in because Sparco only sent 6 screws between the 3 pedals, so I went down to Bunnings and got some screws that'll go into this one, so I'll use 3 on both of these, some other ones on this one that'll fit that accelerator pedal. So now I've just got to put the nylock nuts on the back, we're good to go. Alright, that's all in now. Absolutely awesome. Brake, nice and firm. Purchased that for the clutch. Throttle looks awesome. Stoked about this, but I'm really stoked about our steering wheel. So that'll pretty much do it for this video. I am absolutely sweating. Have a look at this. Me? Never knew working on cars could be that hard. I got a mess to clean up. I've got to promise my wife I'd clean up the garage. But until next time, guys, keep an eye out. Hopefully have another thing, something coming very soon. But remember, these quick release steering wheel, straight on, get all the sweat off it. Awesome thing. I do also have a cover that I'll put over there while I'm not racing, just to keep the suede neat and tidy. I don't want to ruin it, but I'll link the steering wheel, the quick release in the description. I'll put the Sparco pedals down there as well, just so you've got an idea, a reference of where to get them from. But yeah, one thing I wanted to mention too, I had a few people message me recently about how to get the oil pressure gauge in. Now I had issues with this as well. Issue is, on the block it's a BSP thread. It's a 1/8 BSP thread, whereas most of the threads on the oil pressure sender units are 1/8 MPT. Now when it's that, you can fit a 1/8 BSP thread into a 1/8 NPT adapter, but you can't put MPT into BSP. So I went down to Pertec, I got a 1/8 BSP adapter that thread into a 1/8 MPT female fitting, and then your oil pressure sender will fit into the 1/8 MPT female, and you screw them both into the block, good as gold. So that's how you get a good deep thread on there. Otherwise you just got a few threads and you run the risk of it actually coming out and losing total oil pressure. So until next time, guys, have a fantastic day. Have a fantastic Christmas if I don't talk to you before then. I will see you hopefully soon with another video. Got a few cool things that I want to get done on this car. But until next time, bless you, have a fantastic day, have a fantastic Christmas. I'll see you next time. See ya.